Carl, your side, please. This school is my baby. I'm the founding principal. I can't possibly describe how proud I eat, sleep, and breathe this school. This isn't my job. It's my mission. It's my fabric. It's what I am. It's what I do. Russ, nice to see you.
See you too.
Jeff Litt became well known in education circles in the early 90s for turning around one of the worst public schools in the South Bronx. In 2001, he was tapped to start a new school and to design it exactly as he saw fit.
We're doing decimals greater than 1.
Class size at Icahn is capped at 18 students, and the school has only 278 kids from kindergarten through 7th grade. Litt picked a curriculum called Core Knowledge, which emphasizes phonics, classic literature, and basic cultural facts.
Many of our kids do not come from a literature-rich environment. Many of our kids do not come from a home where the families have a lot of formal education, which is why they must have a rigorous program with high expectations, high standards, exposed to the arts, exposed to the literature, exposed to the music. My second graders can tell you about Beethoven. If the parent can't provide what needs to be provided, well, then that's our responsibility to do it.
Students at Carl Icahn take the same tests as the kids in regular public schools. Last year, 83% of the students at Icahn passed the English exam, which is 43% more than kids in regular public schools from the same district. 97% passed the math test, which is 51% more than the rest of the district. Generally, charter school students have a passing rate of 5 to 10 percentage points higher than those in regular public schools.
I think they've demonstrated that children in this community can succeed very well if provided with the right resources and the right education, because many people outside of this community have very limited beliefs in what my kids can accomplish.
Icahn is a charter school, meaning that it's part of the public school system, but is free from the rules that govern regular public schools. In addition to public funding, charter schools also receive limited financial support from foundations and philanthropists, such as billionaire investor Carl Icahn.
The beauty of charter schools is that you know where the buck stops. I can't point fingers at anyone. I selected everything that came in this building. If it works, wonderful, and my kids have a great shot at a future. If it doesn't work, then I shouldn't be their principal.
Tell me the vowels.
A, E.
One of the most contentious issues about charter schools is that unlike regular public schools, most of them are non-union. That makes it much easier for principals to hire and fire their staff.
I've terminated my fair number of people, and I will tell you it's difficult. I serve at the pleasure of my board of trustees. The teachers serve in this school and in charter schools for the most part at the pleasure of the principal.
The question is always important. Remember what they're asking you.
I think that we know that we don't need the protection of a union, and it doesn't scare us.
How does temperature affect humidity?
Teacher salaries are generally comparable to those at public schools, but a school like Icahn can't afford to pay the salaries of veteran public school teachers, so their staff tends to be somewhat less experienced.
I think if a teacher is in an environment where they're supported, respected, encouraged, guided, that fire's never going to burn out, no matter how old they get. I think it's the responsibility of every principal to keep that fire going.
Ms. Phillips taught for 3 years at a regular public school before coming to Icahn.
My first year, I had 38 children in the class. I went into teaching to make a difference. And unfortunately, the way the system is set up, I wasn't doing that there. And I actually didn't realize how much time was spent doing classroom management until I came here. And I had so much time to do classroom instruction.
And 7 divided by 7 equals 1.
And my answer is?
3 and 3/5.
I got phased out of the public school because at the time I wasn't certified. I was working on my master's. Here I had the opportunity to work here and complete my master's. If I need something simple as a marker, it's provided for me. If I need a book, a grammar book, a reading book, an extra math book, it's there for me. In a traditional public school, it did take a long time to get copies. You have to go through 4 middlemen before you actually get the copies made. You have to get signatures, has to be approved, as opposed to here. I mean, I'm getting it within minutes.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Litt says that when he was the principal of a regular public school, he had less flexibility in managing his staff.
Very often what happens is the most needy children in the most academically deficient classes receive the novice teacher. That's the class where the senior teacher should be. Very often the contract will prohibit that. What troubles me with collective bargaining in education is that the person who's held responsible, the principal, cannot always determine how to deploy the staff appropriately. Meaning that very often you'll find a teacher is in an assignment as a result of a contractual provision provided by the teachers' union.
In the Bronx, Icahn has created so much demand from parents that Mr. Litt is opening a second school.
This is a former warehouse, and of course the entire interior will be ripped out. There'll be elevators and air conditioning and floors and walls, and it's going to be cheerful, and it's going to be successful, and it's going to be another haven for kids.
More than 156 students are in the running to fill the 18 remaining openings for next year's kindergarten class. Principal Litt has plans for a third charter school based in Far Rockaway, Queens. Now that the governor and state lawmakers have agreed to raise the charter school cap to 200, that plan will likely move forward. Until yesterday, plans for that school were on hold because New York had reached its legal limit of 100 new charter schools. During the budget battle, the powerful state teachers union opposed Governor Spitzer's desire to increase the charter school cap.
Tax dollars should not pay for private school tuition, and tax dollars should not be used for more unregulated charter schools that aren't accountable to the public. It's a matter of principle. Let's provide great public schools for every child.
A message from New York State United Teachers.
The state teachers union and other critics point to charter schools like Harriet Tubman, which is just down the street from Icahn. Its uneven performance has put it in danger of being closed next year. Overall, 6 charter schools have been shut down in New York State since 1999.
It's okay that some charter schools close, because we wouldn't want any organization to carry on that wasn't delivering its products.
I told everybody how proud I was of you in the math club yesterday. You know, that's high school math. I'm really proud of you.
My kids are achieving at or above the kids north of here. And some of them come from very difficult homes, very challenging situations. I think it's an excuse for failure by saying, well, what do you expect from those kids? The greatest thrill that I get is that my kids in this school are showing the naysayers, yes, we can, and yes, we did.